Hello and welcome to episode 65 of I'm Fine. I always get surprised.
About how creeps up on you.
It does. They keep going up, like one by one. Mad. It's a chat between myself, Damo, and someone who's wonderful with words but can't be bothered to type them properly on texts. I've been meaning to bring this up for a while.
Fire.
You should just read some of your texts back to me.
All right.
You can't. They're illegible, some of them.
Yeah.
you either haven't got spell check on, or you're in such a hurry.
No, I don't use spell check.
Clearly. It's just, sometimes I think it's like a different language.
Sometimes I leave mistakes in, though, to
what? Keep me on my toes?
Convey a sense of frenetic activity. It's almost like if you can read all those
chaos.
mistakes. Yeah. Yeah. Don't.
Right, would you just give me a challenge? Like, is it like a word game? Just trying to work out actually what you mean. So it could be the difference between something important, couldn't it? Or not. You know what I mean?
I guess.
Snint could be send help. Couldn't it? If you're actually drowning or something.
Yeah.
I just want to be stupid texts again. Then I find out, you've drowned. And it was your last text.
I'll keep some keywords like drown and mugged.
Maybe we should have a really short kind of
emergency
safe word.
Yeah.
If you send it me, I'll just come. I'll
find me. Track me.
Yeah. Mark, hello.
Damien, good evening.
Chat around the subjects of health, wealth, well-being, fitness, sport, and Mark's extensive CV. We need to go through that. I think we need to pick some of your jobs out again.
Okay.
And talk.
There's a lot.
I know, that's what I mean. It's plenty of material.
Yeah.
We're all work in progress, and this podcast is no exception. In short, it's a poke at our perfectly imperfect lives, and if we can make just one person feel like they're not alone in all this madness, then our work here is done. Make sure you subscribe to us in your podcast app and follow us on the socials by searching for I'm Finecast. And please do drop us an email at imfinecast@gmail.com. Coming up in this lovely Friday episode, warm up and stretch, catch up and bookmarks, back to normal service. Have you noticed? You're all right. You're like catatonic. You're right. You sit there staring at me like completely motionless. Are you thinking or are you just weirding me out?
I'm just weirding you out.
Okay, fine.
It's the evening session, isn't it? This is my sort of vampire time.
You setting the tone.
Yeah.
I've got to work really hard.
Taking you down
a level. Or
you're
just going to come out and not stop for an hour in a minute. I don't know which way you're going to go. It's exciting. Just like your text. Work-life ballet got mental bandwidth and brain food. We've got okay and neutral faces, which will come to at the right time. Mark, it's great to see you.
Thank you.
I like your beard. It's very masculine and makes you look right clever. Also, you smell nice again.
Okay, well, I didn't put on the aftershave.
I did. Is that your natural odour?
All
right, very nice. It's your natural musk.
It's 6 layers of clothing that I've just slept in. That's
sweat.
what it is, yeah.
Baked in sweat.
Imagine if you could sweat and it was like a sort of Joe Malone perfume.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be good?
Well, people milked you for it because it was so delicious. Oh, it's weird, isn't it? Milk's an all right word, but when you say milk something, it just becomes massively unsavory. Yeah,
because you didn't like
quickly.
the aphids, did you?
Oh, no, I didn't, no.
No.
Just the act of milking something is pretty rank, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway. You see like boiling a bag.
I do like boiling a bag. I don't think I'm giving you a lot of comfort vibes, am I? I'm tensed and
you are.
I'll say something nice.
You can't see what I'm doing, but I'm doing that kind of thing that bodybuilders do. You like that?
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna chill.
Is that your chill? You look exactly the same. So it's a little reminder that we're now doing one podcast per week that would be published every Friday morning at 5 a.m. UK time. I don't know why I picked 5. It just seemed, early. Cracker sparrows, as we say. And we made from.
I'm about to use sparrow in one of my mailbag letters today.
Are you? Oh, what, Krakow or just sparrow?
No.
Okay. We made. What do you mean, one of your letters?
I've received a letter in mailbag.
Oh, okay.
Well,
brilliant.
we have, but I opened it. I thought I'd be brave.
I need to talk to you about that in a minute, actually. About opening emails.
Okay.
We may from I don't know where we are. I should stick to script, right?
Yeah.
We may from time to time have the occasional bonus episode on a Tuesday, but we'll let you know in advance.
We're in very different places tonight, aren't we?
Yeah. Any other housekeeping, Mark?
No, but I'll say something complimentary to you.
No, don't bother. It would just be rude like it was last time.
Got the Rapunzel bit.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I've had better. Can you beat that one?
I'll think of something in the next hour.
Bloody hell. Is that difficult? Right, should we get into it?
Go.
Vaccine and pets. Russia. They come up with a vaccine for pets because they think pets bred COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to argue with them. I haven't done the research they have.
Okay.
But they've approved what it says is the world's first coronavirus vaccine for pets, said the State Veterinary Service. Carnivac Cov underwent clinical trials on dogs, cats, mink. I'll come to mink in a minute.
Yeah.
And other animals. Starting in October, Russia's Federal Service for Veterinary Supervision said in a statement. Need Russian spy to do some translating.
Yeah.
For me.
I actually asked her this week, could she, if she landed in Russia, would she be able to survive?
Right.
And she said she could. Well, it's one of the things with languages. I've always been really poor with languages. But I do think it's one of those things, if you don't keep fresh, it must be really hard. You almost have to sort of re-energize yourself, don't you?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? You can have it all in your brain, but if you don't use it regularly.
If she was a Russian spy, she would be dropped in Russia, would she? She'd be dropped elsewhere. Are you saying if she just went back to her motherland?
Yeah, to like sign in or pick up a briefcase with a poison dart in it.
I'll go and see their version of M.
Yeah.
And get all the gadgets. Yeah.
She actually mentioned to me today about taking forward Lenin. She didn't comment on your joke.
No.
She asked if I'd seen the tomb of Lenin. I haven't. Or Lenin's tomb. Whatever. But she said, don't look at his hands. So this is like a life hack for people.
What, if you look away? Why? Because if the feds look at you, you'll get what?
No, I
Punished?
think evidently that they've probably put the most skilled taxidermist.
Oh, he's not been stuffed, has he? Lenin?
Yeah.
What, like stuffed?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's lying in a tomb.
Yeah, but stuffed? They don't stuff people, they stuff animals.
Well, he'd just be a skeleton now, otherwise.
A skeleton?
Skeleton, yeah. No, but evidently his hands, less attention has been paid on his hands, and they look a bit ropey,
you mean they're
evidently.
just... Oh, okay, right. So he hasn't got like small Trump hands or anything like that?
No.
Okay. It's the kind of cutting edge insight.
Political satire, yeah.
that everyone's come to expect on this.
Yeah.
Don't look at Lenin's hands.
I should have kept that to life hacks.
Yeah. So, Minky Business is the name of this next. I don't know why I like to give my little things names. Because it's.
Go on then, share with the group.
So we're talking about mink. This is quite sad. I will pick things up in a little bit. But we did talk about the mink. I think we have to reference them.
Yeah.
There are more than 1,000 mink farms in Denmark.
Wow.
A lot more than 750 more than you thought there were.
Yeah.
Is that my computer?
I think it's my stomach.
Oh, right. You're hungry. You bought some snacks?
Yeah, but they're so noisy.
What are they? Oh, God, they are. What are they, bonbons?
They're fireworks. Try one.
Sounds like... What are they?
Well, try one. It isn't like...
Well, no, I just got to stick a mystery thing in my mouth, am I?
They're cyanide pills from Russian Spy.
Oh, that's cool. When you say so, then you ask you.
Sounds like rain, doesn't it? I bet that... I could be on the Archers with this.
You could. They're quite tasty.
Fred marched across the gravel.
Then what?
They were changing the guard at Lenin's tomb.
Keep going.
Arnold looked outside his window as the marathon runners ran by on the gravel.
Just give it everything has to be... everything has to contain gravel.
Yeah. I'll bring coconuts. Yeah, if you knock two horses together, they sound like a coconut.
That's good.
You were very muttly then.
I was what?
Very muttly.
You could be my dastardly if you want.
Catch the pigeon.
Anyway, back to the mink. Sorry.
Okay.
It was very tasty. Let me go back. You said that lots of mink got exterminated.
Yep.
They're actually gassed.
Correct.
Because they thought they had COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Or that they could be a threat or...
Yeah. And then you said this week, did you know they had to dig them up again because they were coming out of the ground because they're in too shallow graves. So about 4 million mink will be exhumed from mass graves and incinerated to prevent pollution, the government said. It is set to happen in May, when officials say the risk of coronavirus contamination from the dead animals will have passed.
They didn't prove that they had them in the first place, so...
No. More than 15 million mink have been culled in Denmark, devastating for its fur industry. Yeah, which you wouldn't think there'd be a thing, comment. But I think it's very unfair, to be fair. To be fair.
That was
I missed a trick there.
That was the hidden joke last time. Krona. Did you get that one?
Yeah, it wasn't hidden. I think it was for everyone to...
You just decided not to laugh.
It
was also a type of margarine, wasn't it? Do you remember that back in the day?
Yeah. Can I get on with this?
Topical.
What is? Butter? Margarine? What?
Isn't that daft when they go, I can't believe it's.
Oh, go on.
I can't believe it's not butter. You're basically, your marketing is going, I can't believe it's something better than it is.
Yeah.
You're being aspirational as margarine. Like, I can't believe it's not butter. We'll buy fucking butter.
Yeah.
Anyway, carry on.
Yeah. That was that ages ago. Have you been harbouring that all this time?
No, it just made me. It's like you're in the rival market between butter and margarine, and as margarine, you're going.
You're still talking about it, Matt. It's obviously working, isn't it?
I'm not buying it though.
No, it's
boycotted it.
So some of the mink buried in mass graves in the military area in the west of the country have resurfaced because of the nitrogen and phosphorus gases produced by their decay. I mean, this is awful.
Yeah.
The two burial sites are highly controversial, as one is near a bathing lake. I've not read this. As one is near a bathing lake, and the other not far from a source of drinking water. God Almighty! Residents have complained about the potential risk of contamination.
Yeah.
I mean, just made. There wasn't really probably a problem, was it? Now they've got two problems, or 15 million problems.
This is like when we've discussed before about retrospective, isn't it? It's like someone in the government said, let's kill up to 17 million mink, gas them, and don't bury them too well near drinking water.
I didn't even got that far. Let's kill 15 million mink. Hurrah, let's off to the pub we go.
Yeah, that's that one sorted.
No one went, where are we going to put them?
Ivor, what did you do with the mink? They're just out there by the natural spring.
Yeah. So once the mink are no longer contaminated with COVID-19, they'll be transported to, I guess, they haven't tested 50 million of them, have they?
No,
They've just
they don't even know if they've got it.
No.
I wonder if that's gone in the figures.
Yeah, it probably has. If not theirs, ours. Anyway, it's a poor old mink. I'm not happy about that, but we all need to know that it's going on. Set them free. That's what I say.
Yeah. Well, 200 farms. That's
1,000 farms.
All right, 1,000. Yeah. Sorry, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It must be for something else other than coats, surely.
I don't know.
Next.
A little bit more light-hearted. It's just been Easter, isn't it? We just had Easter. Did you have an Easter egg? Did someone buy you an Easter egg?
Those are Easter eggs.
Are they? Oh, not very eggy. They're just round, aren't they?
It's a little chick with them.
Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah, very Eastery.
Okay.
We've talked about how much Bristol has invented everything.
Yes.
Bristol invented the Easter egg. What?
I thought Jesus did.
No.
Okay.
That'd be daft.
Tell me the history of the Easter egg then.
So, chocolate eggs, said to have originated in France and Germany in the early 19th century. But here in the UK, it was J.S. Fry & Sons Limited who produced the first chocolate egg in 1873.
Quakers? They were.
What?
Fry Company.
Oh, can you just... Yeah, okay.
Just because we mentioned it before with Cadbury's and Bourneville.
Oh,
I think a lot of the chocolate companies were.
Okay. Well, that's a statement I didn't really understand. Because it said chocolate eggs said to have originated in France and Germany in the early 19th century. But these guys were the first to produce an egg. So which one was it?
And what date did they give for Bristol?
1873.
Well, that's late 19th century, isn't it?
Yeah, so they originated in France and Germany.
Oh, so in France and Germany, they went...
They came up with them.
Jean-Claude, I've just thought of having some chocolate eggs.
Yeah.
And Jean-Claude's gone...
Well, how are we going to make
good
them
idea.
then?
Yeah.
If only there was somewhere
chocolate's rectangular.
If only there was somewhere in Bristol that were making it, or had the facilities to make such a thing. The Bristol-based chocolate business was founded by Joseph Fry, a Quaker. Always ruin my things. Who started making chocolate in 1759. In 1795, it was his son Joseph Stores Fry who patented a method of grinding cocoa beans using a steam engine, and as a result was able to start producing chocolate using factory techniques. Maybe it's the first factory-based chocolate egg, which they haven't kind of clarified. Fry's factory quickly became the largest commercial producer of chocolate in the UK, and over the following decades produced over 200 chocolate delights, including Fry's Chocolate Cream, Fry's Turkish Delight.
That's a classic.
Yeah, and Fry's Easter Egg. Cadbury produced their first egg in 1875, 2 years after Fry's, but progress after this was very slow until a method was found of making the liquid chocolate into moulds. Over the next 100 years, Cadbury's went on to produce a range of chocolate eggs, decorated, foiled and cardboarded. While Fry's tried to add value by offering an unusual range of eggs that would attach to different gift items, including watches, necklaces and even cutlery.
That's a bit like Kinder then, isn't it?
Yeah. Ahead of the curve. Sadly, these didn't quite take off, and Cadbury's Easter egg dominated the market for the foreseeable future, as they do today. I need to crack through, Mark. Smithereens.
Yeah.
What?
I was going to do a crack and egg pun, but...
Oh, yeah, I've missed out there.
Yeah.
So smithereens is an Irish word. It derives from, or is possibly the source of, the modern Irish smurderin, which means small fragments. Okay. There is a town near Baltimore, close to the southwest coast of Ireland, called Skibbereen. And this is where it gets a little bit sketchy.
Yeah.
The name means little boat harbour, and it is tempting. So it starts to sound like a fact, right?
Yeah.
And then it just goes off one. It said, it is tempting to imagine sailing ships arriving there from the wild Atlantic, being blown to Skibbereen.
Okay.
The more recent travels also bring up images of property people being dynamited and blown to Skibbereen from all over Ireland. There's no record of such phrase, however, and the similarity between Skibbereen and Smithereens seems to be more than a coincidence. And like, that's totally random.
Yeah, there's no records of anything.
I was talking about crowbarring and referencing, so I thought I enjoyed that. It tickled me.
A podcast I was listening today used the word smithereen, and I thought this thing we keep saying is that once you buy a green car, every fucker's got a green car.
Yeah.
The word smithereen, there must be, it'd be interesting for us to look into it one day. How can it be that you have such a heightened awareness of certain things when you indulge in that certain thing?
It's a bit like your TikTok. You know, you question the kind of, you know, we're pretty sure that the TikTok kind of algorithm is working its socks off and working well, but we do question it actually.
I think TikTok's living in one of my outside sheds. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the things I told you that had come up, this, you know, the picture of Wurzel Gummidge, that's, do you know what I mean? That was beyond.
Yeah. Union Jack or Union flag. I've got a lot of bookmarks to cover. So
okay, race through them.
What do you call someone who studies the history, symbolism and uses of flags, or by extension, any interest in flags in general?
I can't think of anything funny. So
a vexillologist.
Okay.
Yeah. When first introduced in 1606, the Union Jack was known simply as the British flag or flag of Britain, and was ordered to be flown from the main masthead of all English and Scottish ships, warships and merchant ships.
Mm-hmm.
I think at the time when we talked about it, you mentioned
ships, yeah.
Various theories exist, but the bulk of the evidence indicates the use of the word in its diminutive sense. Before 1600, Jack was certainly used to describe a small flag flown from the mast mounted at the end of the bowsprit. Bowsprit? Bowsprit. By 1627, a small version of the Union flag, later described as the Jack flag or King's Jack, seems to have flown commonly in this position, and by 1674 the flag was described formally as His Majesty's Jack in common usage, officially acknowledged as the Union Jack. It's sometimes claimed that the Union flag should be described as the Union Jack only when flown in the bows of a warship, which I think is what you said.
Yeah, and someone said that actually on the news.
Okay.
Have you seen the lesbian flag?
No.
Look it up now. Sorry, that was a bit pushy.
It was.
If you wouldn't mind.
You're taking me right off.
So you know on the whole things around different sexuality, everyone has a flag.
That's quite pretty.
What? The lesbian one's pretty?
Yeah.
Oh, I got the wrong one then.
That one?
Let me see.
Which one were you looking at?
No, there's another one. There's like a chart of all the different sexualities and the flags that they've been given.
Okay.
Because Extinction Rebellion have been rebranded, haven't they, for today's ridiculous...
You need to write all these down, Mark. I haven't got my book.
No, they're all in my head. So Extinction Rebellion...
That's why I said you need to write them down, Mark, because it's the last time we're ever going to hear them.
7 women at 7 o'clock on the 7th of April started smashing the front of Barclays today in Canary Wharf.
Did they?
As a protest against global warming.
Okay.
But it was they've obviously branded, so Extinction Rebellion has decided to take the colour of the suffragettes. It's a sort of pink and a green, I think.
I don't like the idea of that.
Well, they've sort of nicked it a little bit. No, anyway, so Extinction Rebellion today, when they did it, everyone was colour coordinated, and on Twitter, the Extinction Rebellion thing was colour coordinated.
Their own flag.
Okay, if it isn't the lesbian flag, it's one of the others.
Well, you can do it next week.
Okay. Homework.
Yeah,
All it was that everyone now has been given a flag, depending on their sexuality.
Oh, right.
Well, you have, because you... I don't know if there is a heterosexual flag. I don't know.
Well, you're assuming I'm heterosexual, Mark.
If you listen to these pods, you'd be on the fence.
Look, I try anything once.
Yeah. See how shy your cats are. So, the flags.
You should knock it till you tried it.
The flags for different sexualities. I saw a chart, and one of them looked. You wouldn't want to join that sexuality. I thought it was lesbian. It's obviously not. Okay. I apologise. I'll do my research better. I'm gone.
Please do.
Okay.
Can I carry on?
Go.
6 degrees of separation.
Mm-hmm.
6 degrees of separation is the idea that all people, on average, are 6 or fewer social connections away from each other. I thought this was good because we all talk about social connections and social distancing, and this will come into it. As a result, a chain of a friend statements can be made to connect 2 people in a maximum of 6 steps. It's also known as the Six Handshakes Rule.
Mm-hmm.
This comes from the theory that the world is shrinking. which I thought was interesting. Theories on optimal designs of cities, city traffic flows, neighbourhoods and demographics were in vogue after World War I. These conjectures were expanded in 1929 by a Hungarian author, Frigyes Karinthy, who published a volume of short stories titled Everything is Different. One of these pieces was titled Chains or Chain Links. The story investigated, in abstract conceptual and fictional terms, many of the problems that would captivate future generations of mathematicians, sociologists, physicists within the field of network theory. Due to the technological advances in communications and travel, friendship networks could grow larger and span greater distances. In particular, Karinthy believed that the modern world is shrinking due to this ever-increasing connectedness of human beings. He posited that despite great physical distances between the globe's individuals, the growing density of human networks made the actual social distance far smaller. As a result of this hypothesis, Karinthy's characters believed that any two individuals could be connected through at most 5 acquaintances. In his story, the characters create a game out of this notion. This idea influenced a great deal of early thought on social networks, both directly and indirectly. Karinthy has been regarded as the originator of the notion of 6 degrees of separation. You mentioned Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. Can you just give me some validation and congratulations?
No. Do you deserve it?
Do you see I did this? I just went back here.
To do what?
I shut up.
Did you?
Because I was going to go...
You normally huff and puff like,
no.
Just get on with it, I'm bored.
Oh, what about Kevin Bacon? I know something. And I didn't.
Hold on, would you want me to say congratulations for letting me speak?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the Kevin Bacon game, the 6 degrees...
You still haven't done it.
What? No, I'm not going to.
Okay.
You just confirmed that you wanted that.
That's okay.
Mark, you're a legend.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, I'm confused now. I'll take your first answer like a mastermind. Carry on.
There you are. The game 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon was invented as a play on the concept. The goal is to link any actor to Kevin Bacon through no more than 6 connections, where 2 actors are connected if they have appeared in a movie or commercial together. It was created by 3 students at Albright College in Pennsylvania who came up with the concept while watching Footloose. I do remember it all kicking off, but I can't remember why. On September 13th, 2012, Google made it possible to search for any given actor's Bacon number through their search engine, which I don't recall what their Bacon number was. But
and that's a fairly narrow search, isn't it? If it's meant to be worldwide, it's like us with Trump. That's what you'd be looking as a true. Yeah, that to me would be an interesting.
I'll probably do that. Do you want that as your homework as well?
No.
All right.
I've even forgotten what my first homework was. So. Oh, flags. Yeah.
No notebook.
No.
Just sweets. Very quick one on Tesla stock. We like talking about Tesla and stock, don't we? Well, I do. A little tweet for you. If you bought a Tesla Model S in 2012, your $77,000 car would be worth approximately $40,000 today.
Okay.
If you had invested that same $77,000 in Tesla stock, you would have over $7 million today. Invest your money instead of buying material things, was the advice from John Pompliano on Twitter.
I would say to John Pompliano...
Oh, I'll reply now. Okay, hold on. Just 1 sec.
But
it was on our account. One sec. Go. What do you want me to say?
Dear John.
Dear John.
I hope you and the family are well. I don't tweet a lot.
Hold on. You're only limited on what? 275 characters? Is it? Hope you and the family are well. Yep.
Surely the purpose of accruing capital gain.
Accruing capital gain, yeah.
Is to make material purchase.
Yep.
I think that's all I want to say.
What's the love mark? Should I put?
No.
Oh, how do you want to sign it off? Okay. We'll come to that. We'll come to that.
Well, wait on. I'll think about that.
So, dear John, I'll read it back to you. Dear John, hope you and the family are well. Surely the purpose of accruing capital gain is to make material purchase? Question mark.
Yeah.
Should I say? I'm not putting my name on it.
No, don't
Thanks,
send it
Mark.
yet.
Thanks. What, you want more?
Let's just leave it for the moment, but I'll think on that. The point I'm making is this.
Okay, I'll send it in a bit.
Is if he said, you've then got 7 million, the sort of notion that he's saying is, you've then got a very big bank balance. If you do nothing with it, if you don't purchase anything, money per se isn't going to be, there's no point in just having lots of money.
Is it not?
No.
Oh.
Next.
Just a couple of things that are grinding my gears. Is it Elvis? You are an owner of a cat now. Have you noticed in cat food adverts, cats eating off tiny plates? Have you ever seen anyone in a cat ad put cat food in a cat bowl? The last one I saw, this woman, just happened to be a woman. I'm nothing against women.
That's
the way I
okay.
said it.
Yeah.
Woman! Just put the tiny portion, which my cats would just look at and go, you serious?
Mm.
A tiny portion of cat food on a tiny little plate. Which looked like a kind of...
Sort of nouveau cuisine.
Yeah, it wasn't even a sauce. Yeah. And then put a little sprig of parsley on top of it. I'm like, it's a cat.
Yeah.
One, it's going to be hungry after that. And two, it's not going to eat the parsley.
No.
I don't think.
Have you seen cats' reactions to broccoli?
Yeah. I've seen one with cucumbers. Is that the same where they jump up in the air when you hide it?
Yeah,
you put
probably.
it behind
Well,
them.
they look as if they're going to retch when you put broccoli by them.
Oh, right. No, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, their face goes like... Yeah. You can't be kidding.
There's a cucumber one where they just put a cucumber behind a cat.
Yeah.
And the cat doesn't know it, sees it and jumps up in the air. And the other thing, you'll like this one, Homes Under the Hammer.
Yeah.
Right?
Dion or...
Oh, no. Because that's a good one. Upstairs to the bedrooms.
Yeah.
I'll put the link up for that
Yeah.
because it's genius. Because I've done a little bit of filming in the past.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I found the film I was in as well.
Oh, the riot
Yeah.
one where you're smashing the head out of some Millwall fans or something?
No. That was Panorama. No, the film I was an
Sorry,
extra.
not that one.
No, that was factual. I'm also getting Millwall. I'm getting fucking F Troop on TikTok.
Well, we haven't even mentioned Millwall. Have you been mentioning Millwall?
That's because
to someone?
No. Oh, you didn't.
What?
You took it out.
I took what out?
My football violence discussion.
Yeah, we're gonna have an whole episode on it.
I've been getting literally the same people that I talked about to you that you cut out. Literally the same human
recently?
beings.
Have you been talking about it recently?
Harry the dog and all those.
Yeah, that's right. We did cut it out.
Yeah, I've been sent TikToks of Harry the dog.
That's weird, isn't it?
The reason I said was F Troop used to wear surgical masks, and I found a picture of them, but they used to wear them over their head like a cute Easter bonnet.
Well,
so it was like topical, but they probably would get into trouble now going into Sainsbury's.
Yeah,
right. I'd let F Troop come in like that. But but you cut that out. Sorry.
So Homes Under the Hammer.
Yeah.
When they get the estate agents to come in and value the house.
Yeah.
And you can just tell that the director's going, if you can just come into this empty room and look interested.
Yeah.
It's the way they walk in and look at the ceiling and like there's nothing in it. And look they're just, then it's so awkward and you just know what's happening in the room. They're being told to do it. I watch out for that now. I don't actually like the rest of the programme.
But you've made a typical uneducated mistake there. You called it a room. It's not a room anymore, is it?
I don't know.
It's a space now.
Oh, this is the front space.
Oh yeah,
this is the space we cook food in.
Yeah.
This is the space we have a shit in.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what they do?
Yeah, space now rather than room. Just watch out for Homes Under the Hammer.
Okay, that's a good way. Okay. Again, it's one of those things.
It is a brilliant program, and you do know that all
won't go that far.
Oh, it is.
It's
It's
up there with Repair Shop.
No, it's
all right.
Shakespearean. Seriously, it's Shakespearean. It's a 5-act drama. Homes Under the Hammer is a 5-act drama. Seriously.
This is another one of your homework.
So I said about Pan's people being literal in their translation of their dances.
Mm.
Homes Under the Hammer,
the
lyrics of the song will match what the guy has just said about the house. Word for word. So it'll be something...
the lyrics of what song?
So it'll be something like...
Oh, you mean the soundtrack they put on it, you mean?
Yeah, so the presenters will go round and go, you'd have to be a real hero to be able to rescue this house.
Right.
And like the Stranglers will be, no more heroes. And it's whatever they say, the lyrics are totally the same. They must absolutely piss themselves doing the soundtrack.
Okay.
Next time you listen. But it is a 5-act drama. Seriously, it is.
That's definitely a feature for you to go in and do, isn't it? Take an actual episode and just... explain, critique the episode of Homes Under the Hammer.
Yeah, okay.
Tell you what, this episode's properly random, isn't it? I'm at the end of my bookmarks now.
Okay. Where do we go
Looks
from
like
here?
you're bursting to talk about something.
No, I don't know where we're going next.
Work-life ballet. We were talking in the last episode about taking my flamethrower to my diary.
Yeah.
And it made me think about how we use our time day to day.
Mm-hmm.
I guess what it started making me think about was, and without getting to free will, I would argue that most of our days in our lives are full of things that we put there. No one else really did. And we didn't choose to enter this earthly realm.
Mm-hmm.
And much of our childhoods were led by our parents or guardians. But since the time we could do whatever we wanted, i.e. be adults, I guess, how much do we just keep filling our cups? And with what?
Yeah.
It's generally just stuff. isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
And then because we talked about life getting in the way,
Yeah.
like as I said, I don't want to go into free will and stuff, but because we will touch on that at some point. You know, it's just life, isn't it? It's like I'm pretty sure we've made it what it is, and it's full of generally the things that we made choices about at some point.
Yes.
So it's a classic. We've made our beds and we're lying in it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's that kind of idea that we just go, "Oh God, I'm so busy," and it's almost,
Where did the time go?
Yeah,
You made every decision.
and I'm the worst. I'm time poor, and it's like,
Yeah.
I've made it like that.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to be my fault.
No. I suppose the alternative to that would be just so highly structured that you would just have like almost like an effectiveness chart of like how you were going to do everything.
Yeah.
So one of the things, for example,
Well, your kind of velocity, as we talk about at work with delivery, you know, how much you're delivering is your velocity. So your anxiety wouldn't be about I haven't got time to do anything. It's maintaining the level of productivity or effectiveness in your life.
But the effectiveness, if we were going to be effective, I'm just thinking about today, the last few days haven't been brilliant for me on a number of different levels, emotionally, and also one of my sort of signs that it's around self-care and self-soothing. I'm not good at it anyway, but what I will tend to do is regress to things, especially around food, that have the opposite of symbiosis. So food will fulfill two things for me when I'm not in a good place. It will fulfill a need in terms of giving me a high. So eating loads of chocolate, eating loads of crisps, having something that is going to have a physical effect on your body.
Yeah.
And it'll also have a mental effect on my body, like looking at the wrapper, basically wraps your ankles in chocolate wrappers in the car, and you realise on your mental side, for someone who's espousing healthy eating and who understands what's in all of these.
You're high as a kite.
You're high as a kite.
But there's the remorse is kicking in, right?
Yeah.
You start to come down on your sugar crush, right?
Yeah.
From rush to crush.
Yeah.
And then the remorse kicks in. Oh God.
Yeah. And I think
I'm so awful to myself.
Yeah. And I think food is, for a lot of people, food is a very, it's a barometer, I think.
Yeah, totally.
But the point I was going to make is, so I've had a few days of not being very good. And today I decided, and I don't know, this isn't a life hack, this is maybe just a PT hack. I shared with one person that I'm going to walk 10,000 steps today. And I wrote it down. I shared with another person verbally that I was going to have a meal that wasn't wrapped. So like food, as we used to call it. Something
didn't come in a package.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
And wasn't $4 for £1. Yeah, something that wasn't bought in a petrol station.
Okay, right, I'm with you.
So that person then said, send me a photograph.
Right.
And the third thing I said,
and
I was
shit.
Yeah.
I thought I got away with just by saying it.
So just like went to the freezer. This is what I'm going to have. So the point I'm making is that I recognised that I was getting into a position of not eating in the way that I wanted to eat and that was good for me. I realised I was emotionally eating, and my way out of that, because there was some pleasure in that emotional eating, was to almost take a logical, wise mind decision to say, long term, this is not sustainable. Medium term, this is going to do you more harm than good. Mm-hmm. So what I put into place was going back to our baby steps, little things that I know would make a difference to me mentally. Walking, number one, 10,000 steps. Drinking, number two. Mm-hmm. And thirdly, having a proper nutritious meal. But I planted those small little targets with other people in terms of accountability. And we talked about this a lot.
Yeah.
But it was quite interesting that when I was then held to be accountable...
Oh, these people are going to follow up, right?
Yeah. So one of them has said, by 9 o'clock today...
Is that why you didn't send it to me?
Yeah.
So I'm giving 2 shits.
Yeah, bring more crisps. So someone had said, by 9 o'clock today, show me one meal that you've eaten. Mm. Someone had said, have you done your 10,000 steps yet? And someone had mentioned something around the drinking. The point I was going to say from your waste of time, what I could have done is got up this morning and drunk 2 litres of water in the first half an hour of getting up.
Yeah.
And then I could have had a cooked breakfast.
Nutritious, but you could have done 2 out of 3 within the first hour of your day.
And then I could have walked for an hour and a half, and I know I would have had 10,000 steps in the bag, and it would only been 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And yet what happened is we allowed the task to fill the time. So I've done 8,000 steps. So I'm going to leave here and walk in the dark around the ghetto
Good luck with that.
I've got to drink all of that.
You might want to run.
Yeah, I'll get an electric scooter. I wonder if you scoot, it catches steps. So the point I'm making is to get myself back on track. I became accountable to other people. Mm-hmm. However, I could have all achieved that by the time Homes Under the Hammer finished at 11 o'clock. I didn't need to be at this position now where I know when this finishes at 9 o'clock, I'm going to have to walk, I'm going to have to drink.
Yeah.
So that's about the time poor. We have the same number of hours in the day, but we tend to stretch the tasks thinking, well, I'm going to be up till midnight.
Yeah, why do we do that?
Yeah. And it all could have been done and I could have sent it and those people would have gone, my God, well done.
Yeah, good point. I think where I was going with this originally was how do you structure your day, which you've got to just give us a bit of an insight. Just send people tasks that you're going to do and try and
the other 364 are less formal. I just sit on TikTok.
Yeah. Just think about the kind of the stuff that we fill our lives with, and so what is this stuff? Is it work? Is it hobbies? Is it socializing? Helping people, working out, relaxing? You might do all of those things, or one of those things could take up all of your time. And then which of these things are driven by us? Probably most of those things. If you identify all the things you do, I'd imagine that 99% of them are things that we decided to do. Yeah, because you even go, well, I've got to go to work. It's like, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah. I know you do to kind of earn a living, but
then you've chosen a job that's 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day.
I mean, how many people go, well, it's the only job I've got. It's the only job I can do. I don't know, there might be some examples out there where they can only do that one thing. If you're a robot only programmed for one particular job, maybe that's it. Or the robot's listening. I think you're wrong, Damo. I'll have you know this is the only job I'm programmed to do.
Have you seen the robot in Japan holding the Olympic torch?
No.
I'm not going to talk about it. I just wonder whether you've seen it.
No.
It doesn't feel right to me.
Okay.
I'll leave it there.
Do you need to revisit that?
No, because I don't really want to talk about it.
Are you sure it's a robot with an Olympic torch? Or have you had a bad dream again? I don't know.
No, it is. It is.
Had a night terror again.
It's true.
And then which of these things are actually, once you look at those things, which of these things are actually nourishing for us? Which bring joy, which bring us energy or solace to our lives? Actually, if we looked at it. And
do we get the balance right, I wonder? I suppose that's what you're sort of hinting at.
Yeah, I guess so. We touched on overwhelm recently, and I've the reason we're doing one pod is because I'm time poor, and I'm starting to kind of think that's driving some of my decisions. And then I'm going, am I dealing with the root of the problem, or am I dealing with the effects of the problem? I'm actually dealing with what I'm trying to deal with. So cutting out one pod, is that actually going to help, or am I just going to fill it with other stuff? Yeah, and still sit there and go, oh God. Not worked.
If you've gained minutes, what are you going to do with them?
Am I feeling it? Right now I'm not feeling like you got here and I was still furiously writing this thing going, oh fuck. I found this thing on mental bandwidth. I thought it was kind of a nice terminology, and I think it kind of summed up. Mental bandwidth management is the new time management. This is by Kyle Kowalski. I love a name like that. On Slow, which I look at. They're worth checking out, Slow. So sloww.co. I've put a link up to it before, but I'll put it again. But it's worth getting their email alerts because there's some really interesting articles on it. Kyle says, I've always believed that all 40-hour work weeks are not created equal. On the surface, the quantity of hours is the same, but a 40-hour work week that allows you to think, breathe, and do your best at work is not the same as a 40-hour work week that's glorifying busy, where you feel like you're drowning in work. And you were talking about busy being busy, I think, a couple of eps ago. We've all heard of time management. Countless books and time management experts exist. But managing your time is only as effective as managing your energy during that time. As an introvert, an INTJ, brother from another mother, I struggle to shut off the inner dialogue in my head. And not just the inner dialogue, but the inner compulsion to constantly consume, digest, and analyse information, which I think we both kind of... can feel. And this means that no matter what I'm physically doing, I'm often mentally preoccupied with something else. But even good things like learning have limits. You can't do all the life hacks, it says here. Everything takes practice, and I'm training my brain to stop and take breaks. What happens when we never slow down? And obviously this movement is about the slow movement, and stop and take a break. A paper published by Harvard says that psychiatrists are reporting an increase in acute stress from people stretched to their limits and beyond, with no margin, no room in their lives for rest, relaxation, or reflection. In other words, no margin leads to no mental bandwidth. Managing your time also means managing your bandwidth. thought was quite a nice
Yeah.
way of putting it. And there's a few examples of what is mental bandwidth or cognitive bandwidth. A couple of examples from Time magazine. By bandwidth, I mean basic cognitive resources that we use in nearly everyday activity. Bandwidth is what allows us to reason, to focus, to learn new ideas, to make creative leaps, and to resist our immediate impulses. And this one from Harvard, which is bandwidth refers to our cognitive capacity and our ability to pay attention, make good decisions, stick with our plans, and resist temptations. And I talked about a couple of pods ago about just stopping. I think it was one of my hacks, might have been.
Yeah.
And I kind of used, I know I used, taking a flamethrower to my diary as a slightly kind of frustrated, maybe pre-programmed thing I have in me as part of my OS.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing. Maybe it's just my body going... Just, remove some things, give yourself room. And even from a business point of view, a few years ago, our business coach came in and went, "You're all feeling tired, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, you're all feeling overworked. Yeah. And you're feeling underrewarded." Yeah, that's us. And she went, "You've got 30 clients that are all probably less than 1% of your turnover." And we're like, "Oh, that's what it is then."
Yeah.
We were doing lots of stuff. But we weren't doing it smart. We weren't working smart.
Activity, not progress.
Then just like, how do we create that space? And you think, well, by removing clients, you're going to be reducing your workload, not being able to pay people. Actually, it bought us time to work on less of those. I mean, it sounds obvious now I'm saying it out loud, but you remove that baggage. I guess there's a lot of baggage in there, and you create time. And I think that rushed and that kind of expectation that time is money, it is. But if you can just take a step back and create space within a working environment, within your life, you can spend more quality time on those things to make them better and also make them sustainable. So they're not just a flash in the pan. There's not just a spike of revenue, a spike of nourishment, or a spike of enjoyment, or whatever it is.
And I can see
there's a nice constant kind of
reward for it. But then one of the things that on the course that came out a few weeks ago, which I don't know whether I mentioned or not, was talking about the pursuit of happiness. And I think it's, again, this is like typical of where we both come from. You've put a business perspective that does have a sense of measurability in it, that you can actually go, well, if I do X, Y, and Z, then it is more effective use of my time because my revenues have gone up or the amount of time my work has gone down, whatever. We had a discussion on the course about the pursuit of happiness. One of the people leading the course sort of said, "How do you know when you found it?" And this was the problem because...
It's like, what does success look like?
Yeah. And it can be measured in business terms if it's turnover. You might not feel any more successful because you have no sort of social life or life outside work. Yeah. But I had an incident today that really, really made me think, in that I found, and we're going to refer to this, so this isn't just chucking this in, we are going to refer to it. So I found the first direct message that I'd sent to my friend who died last Friday. And the elation that I'd found it. He changed his Insta addresses quite regularly. And I didn't realise this was from quite a long time ago, and it was just hidden. So I've had a voicemail that I didn't know I had.
Oh, okay, cool.
And my very first, and I might read this out at some stage, not today. And I mean, it made me cry my eyes out, but I had this sense of happiness that I somehow had a bit of completion about, how did it all start? Where did it all start? Where was the first connection? And it gave the story, for me, almost a more rounded feeling that I didn't know what I'd written to him the first time I ever wrote to him. And I didn't know what his reply was. So I think the thing there is that happiness has come from me trawling through my phone. But the overall happiness would often be seen in terms of...
So I guess if someone would go, what does happiness look like? You might not ordinarily have gone, a text I didn't know I had from someone it was special I lost. That you wouldn't, would you? Is that what you're saying? Kind of happiness comes from unexpected places.
I think when you found it and you realise how exciting it is, or how
how simple it could be.
Yes, and I'm
not taking away.
No.
Just that is quite a simple finding a message that at the time was just a message.
Yes,
it now has a lot of meaning around it, doesn't it?
But I think our typical barometer for happiness is still, we're forced into that funnel by social media and by the material, expectation about material,
status, social status, etc.
And things like, by doing walking today and seeing my Kingfisher again today.
Yours?
Yeah, mine.
Pet one. You're so posh. I've got a cat, you've got a Kingfisher.
It made me think, because the Kingfisher, literally as soon as you get near it, it's just this shimmer of bright blue, disappears in the distance. They're very, very...
It's not a blue tit?
No.
Oh.
But there was a duck
and disappear
there.
Quickly.
There was a duck there, and I was thinking, just idly going by, and I thought, of the two, the duck's at more risk from me than a Kingfisher.
Risk? What are you going to do to it?
Well, if I was hungry,
I know.
But
I've been struggling with food recently, but that's ridiculous.
The duck seemed really trusting.
I
I wondered
you
where...
just like biting a duck's head off. I mean, that's not...
Well, like Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, I think you're pretty crazy, but not that crazy.
But
feathers all around your mouth.
But I was just thinking, where's the kingfisher's timid nature come from? I think we've gone off piste.
You're such a poet.
No, but do you know what I mean? Why is it? Where is it developed as such a suspicious and worried bird?
Hold on, you've got timid as suspicious and worried.
Well,
Hold on, you think
it never just...
I can't keep up today.
It just made me think. I looked at the duck and I
You
thought,
thought, oh, I'm hungry.
if I jump in now
If I
and
had
go for its neck, it's off.
If I had a couple of pieces of crusty
Yeah.
bread, he'd be in
And
there.
an orange.
What, duck à l'orange?
Yes, explain the joke makes the joke better. But yeah, I just wondered.
Just
It
for
did
people
make me
again,
think.
what are you talking about?
It just
Mark?
did make me think. The
Have
kingfisher.
you had a duck à l'orange sandwich? No.
No, I've never had roasted kingfisher either.
Oh, that's delicious.
It's all beak though, isn't it? No, it just made me think. It really did make me think today. I just thought, I wonder where that timidity has come from. Is timidity a word? Where that timid nature has come from. Do you not have these thoughts when you...
Kingfisher, why are you so timid?
I was running after it
why
to
are you
ask
so
it.
delicious?
Right.
I just expect you to break into song. Do you kind of get a little kind of
Lute.
ukulele out?
Yeah, no, lute, like a sort of
like a
15th century harlequin. Yeah.
Kingfisher, why you are so timid?
It'd be a sonnet, wouldn't it? 14 lines of pure gold and silver.
Right,
and green.
I don't know. I had a nice feature and it's just talking about timid kingfishers now. I don't know where we're going. Should we
think-
move on? I've got to move
yeah.
this on. We'll be here all night otherwise with your poetry.
I've got to eat a lasagna by 9.
And take a photo of it.
I've taken a photo of it. I haven't eaten it.
All right, hold on a minute. So you've taken... Right.
No,
okay.
I took the photo of it before I ate it. I've eaten it, but I took a photo.
Make your mind up.
No,
You
I
said you're
have
going to eat
eaten
one
it.
by 9.
No, I have eaten it.
Are you making things up now?
No, but I just sent a
Like-
picture. When I sent the picture, it looked like a meal, but it was just in the saucepan, in the frying
Why don't
pan.
you take-
I did fried
why don't you take-
lasagna.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
I'm a big fan of lasagna sandwich. Talking about sandwiches.
Yeah.
Some people just go, what?
Kick the duck out.
So the crunch, you get one piece of bread.
Mm.
You cut the crunchy bit off the lasagna. So you get a little bit of meat, a little bit of one of the layers. Then you get the crunchy edge.
Yeah.
You with me?
Yeah.
Slide into the bread.
Yeah.
And if you've got chips, because I like lasagna
Yeah.
and chips, some people
Yeah.
go, what, pasta?
Double carbs.
Yeah. Try it.
Mm.
Never go back, right?
Okay.
And then you just fold that in half. Maybe a
Oh,
little
you
bit
fold it in half. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit
great.
of tomato sauce. I kind of like the little, it's like a little wrap.
Like a fold rather than
Yeah.
two separate bits. There's too much.
Yeah.
There's too much possibility for seepage on 2 bits of bread, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, these are things I think about.
Yeah.
Timid kingfishers. Lovely.
Then eat it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was for sign language.
No, what I was going to say, yeah, we'll not throw it away. Go to all that effort, like rolling a spliff. Just chuck it.
You're probably one of those ones that used to roll perfect spliffs for everybody
Yeah, we didn't
else.
smoke them.
No,
Yeah.
you just handed them out and everyone
You
goes,
got
give
it.
it to Damo. And he's there and
can
it's
do a
like a
neat
work
one.
of art. Don't give it to Mark. He can't put it together. No, the tobacco, it's on the inside, Mark.
Yeah. Never bought drugs in his life, never bought tobacco, can roll a spliff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. Or just, sorry, going back to your picture. This is
Yeah.
I've got to edit this crap. You took a picture of it. Why don't you just send it? And then this person will go, oh, well done, Mark, you've eaten a lasagna.
No, I have. The point is making the photo that I took wasn't any proof.
Why don't you take a video of you eating it?
'Cause at that time, it was. I could
And
tell,
it'd be horrendous to watch.
I'll tell you what I should have done. Just send a video of the duck.
What, eating your lasagna?
No. This is what I'm going to have later. Be more believable.
Yeah, what's that timid kingfisher in the background doing?
Escaping. That was pudding.
Can we move on?
That would be a penguin.
We're running hot here.
Mm.
So we're going to come back to okay and neutral faces.
Yes, we'll
Next
come back
time.
next time.
Okay, cool. We'll do that. So mailbag. I've got a quick mailbag. So this is what I mentioned at the beginning of this about you reading my emails. You read my mum's email and you said you were welling up. I was going, my mum hasn't sent us an email. And I just looked in our inbox.
Yeah, and I'd opened it,
Yes.
and it wasn't.
Do you know what you always said? You know what you said on that
Mark
one
has
episode?
unread.
Yes, you hadn't.
I didn't know how to do it for some reason.
But you said this is what you do because you're polite.
I do it on WhatsApp. I'd forgotten how to do it on email. I tried. I really tried.
It's a bloody great email from my mum, which I'm going to
Yeah.
read now.
Okay.
Damo and Mark.
Phew.
Yeah, you got that right.
She knows.
I did it. A rerun from 1 to 61. I haven't read this yet.
Okay.
I'm reading it for the first time. Do you know what's
Right.
coming? I don't.
Yeah. Oh, the bit about us going out.
Shut your face.
Don't read that out in public.
I'm reading the whole thing.
She said you've never been to Hooters before.
Don't bring my mum and Hooters into the same sentence, okay?
Carry on.
Yeah, I did it, a rerun from episodes 1 to 61. I was so glad I decided to do it. I heard things I missed the first time and began to better understand the mental health issues that were raised. As I said before, this was all new to me. My generation tended to just get on with it. You're just saying this in the last...
Yes.
She wrote this before the last episode.
Yes.
But this year has been something I never thought I'd ever have to live through. After 74 years, we had to learn a new way of living, scared of the risk of infection because of our ages and worrying about our children and grandchildren. We had our good and bad days, and by the time you started this podcast, I needed something. Oh. All the things you talked about resonated at some time with me. Sarcopenia is really interesting, and the exercises you recommended, Mark, are being practiced still by both me and my husband. The vagus nerve was an eye-opener. I'd never heard of it, but it makes so much sense now. Weighted blankets. At my age, it is bad enough trying to turn over in bed. If I had, I'd be pinned to the bed. The principle behind them is something I've used for years, but just an ordinary extra blanket. Okay. Retro Sweets brought back some memories. Did you ever see imps? Tiny little pieces of licorice
shit,
in small tins and flying saucers. The chalk drops you mentioned were called rainbow drops.
Yeah.
Looking back over the last 6 months, it's been interesting. So many things have happened that you suggested. I started taking vitamin D and intend to carry on. You'll be very happy with that, Mark. There has been much information and help in these podcasts that have helped me understand and cope with the lockdown. The one thing that's helped me most has been the laughter, jokes and Mark's stories. Don't encourage him. Stay well, stay safe and carry on. Best wishes, Damo's mum.
It's lovely, wasn't it?
It is really sweet. Yeah.
Really enjoyed that.
And she sent one today, back to that kind of the soothsaying stuff. I'm Fine podcast ahead of the BBC. Report on 6 p.m. news about Hadron Collider discoveries that you reported the other day ahead of your time. Laughing emoji. And she just texted, and it was 1 hour ago. Wolves used to have a club song when I used to go with Grandad. My granddad died at the ground, actually.
Oh, right.
I think we drew with Chelsea 1-1.
Yeah.
In a European Cup. Anyway, it was the Happy Wanderer. I love to go a-wandering along the mountain track. When I go, I love to sing with a knapsack on my back. Valderie, Valdera, Valderie.
Is that like that sort of yodeling one? Does it go? Da, 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 da,
But yeah, that's the
Yeah. Okay, well that was what I was after. Thank you, Damo's mum.
I'm such a letdown, aren't I?
Part-time supporter.
Anyway, you have mailbag, don't you, Mark?
Yeah, I think I mentioned this to you a while ago, and it wasn't suitable to read it out on the last pod. But I think a lot of people have noticed that Colin has been very quiet recently. And I received mail, and because it was in an email form rather than in a brown envelope, I felt that I could open it.
Okay.
And I think I've actually opened a can of worms rather than just an email.
Oh, God, what's happened?
So I'm going to read it out. Again, you haven't... The one thing I'm going to say on this is that I made a tongue-in-cheek remark about the Ever Given.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay, I think
I made a... Well, no, this... I think,
you made a cut... Well, actually, I sent you...
Before you sent me that, I made a comment.
You did make it on the...
So the comment I made
And I left
was,
that sexist remark in.
Yes.
Because hopefully everyone
got the irony.
Yes. Such...
So I made some comment like...
It was funny, to be fair. I said, how the hell did someone do that with a boat in the Suez Canal? And
What did I...
I think you said maybe it was her first time driving or something like that.
So it was obviously tongue-in-cheek.
Absolutely.
But I thought it was really interesting because if someone didn't know it was tongue-in-cheek, they would go, sexist.
What a couple of knobs.
And then and this is what's happened with Colin.
But then I did, just a bit, I did send you that. There was actually that female...
Pilot.
Is that what called? Captain? Pilot?
Pilot, I think, yeah.
For some reason, everyone thought it was her.
Yes.
And she went all around the internet.
Yes.
And she's like, it wasn't.
But
just for reference.
The assumption was that I actually think everybody else was sexist. If anybody took what I took as seriously, as in demeaning women, you're the sexist ones. And I'm going to explain that very quickly. I said maybe it was her first time. And I can imagine someone going, oh, you're making a joke about women not being able to reverse or whatever. What I'm making the joke is that you have assumed it was a man.
Yes.
So...
Yeah, who's the joke on now?
You're the sexists.
Oh, that's one way to alienate our listeners, Mark.
Only the sexist ones. We
Oh,
don't
that's
want
a good
them
point.
anyway.
Yeah, true. No, to be fair, I don't mind them.
No.
There's more listeners, aren't there?
Yeah.
It's good for the stats.
You might not enjoy this. Seriously, this is a warning. One of the things that I think we agreed early on with the podcast is we are fairly vague about people that, we'll mention your mum, but quite often people are either given nicknames. We don't go necessarily into other individuals, do we? And
No.
Colin has preferred the personal pronoun of she, which we've respected. But I don't think we've ever gone into details about, Colin's backstory or life.
No, she's just been, merrily working on as our help for...
Yeah. Well, since the beginning. And she has now left.
I just thought she had gone out for some milk. But
so...
To be fair, it was 3 months.
There are some yogurt then. I can't believe it's not milk. So this is the email. Dear, and there are bits of this that I do feel offended by, I must say.
Oh, crikey. Okay. Go on, let's hear it.
Certainly nothing I would have written. Dear Chuckle Brothers. Again, I don't even like that to start with. What? This is going to take a while to get through if you find that bit funny. I saw the Chuckle Brothers at a festival, and all they did was say to me, to you, and everyone just cheered for half an hour. Anyway.
Go on, to you.
It has taken me... No, to you.
I've got that.
Okay. It has taken me 2 weeks to summon up the emotional strength to communicate to you the full reasons for my sudden and devastating exit. Strong start. Firstly, however, I hope you're both well, and that now we are socialising again.
Would you put that first?
Yes, it's like it came in with a bombshell.
Yeah, and then it's going to soften us up again.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. It is a mishmash. I think it's of a confused brain who wrote this. I hope you're both well, and now we are socialising again.
Sorry, do that, Mark. Sorry, Mark.
That's
I
okay.
dropped my pen. Say again.
Firstly, I hope you are both well, and that now we are socialising again, you will be able to flourish in the company of others, and you can return to the idle chatter of the coffee shops. And at this stage, I thought, we've had our differences, but fair enough. Yeah. The last 30 weeks, obviously the time of the pod, has been a roller coaster of emotions. But I hope that my smiling face and willing hands have brought succour to you both. Now, on second reading,
I'm dying.
I decided I'd leave that, but I'm not too sure where she's
even
going.
Using your word sucker.
Yeah, she's misspelt it, which is even more worrying. Okay.
Didn't they spell check?
So, next paragraph. I believe that since you set up your amateur, self-congratulatory, repugnant podcast, you have changed from the caring people I once loved and respected into two supercilious hellions striving to sow the evil seeds of your own self-satisfying stream of consciousness. And again, there's been another twist there. Good use of hellions, though. I'll give her that.
Lovely.
The change, nay, a Kafkaesque metamorphosis, has forced me out from a job I truly loved. Forced me out like the pus from a teenager's acneed cheek. Again, graphic and maybe not a need.
I didn't know she's such a writer.
No. In the expectation that you will attempt to use this letter as content, I have copyright protected the content and will be sure to take legal action should you attempt to broadcast any of my heartfelt prose that has been typed between a flurry of tears and angst. I will revoke my usual effusive writing style to dilute your parasitic tendencies. I'm guessing by that she doesn't want us to get content from this letter, but I go,
right, yeah.
Sue and be damned. I'm not going to be dictated to.
No, it's not your style.
She's then listed in a number of areas the things that have upset her.
Oh.
Number 1, mailbag. How very fucking typical. How very Damo and Mark. Mailbag. Really, mailbag. Could you be any more adversarial? She's obviously spelt mailbag M-A-L-E, which I think is probably just a grammatical confusion. I think she was thinking mailbag was referring to something completely different, and she's just missed a...
Yes, yeah.
Your constant fascism towards promotions of gender generalisation breaks down any pretense of equality and fairness. Mailbag should be removed immediately, and I recognise the irony of my letter being nestled in your mailbags. This sends shudders through my body. Okay, number 2. There's a few of these. It has been scientifically proven that podcasters are 73% more up themselves than normal people, normals in bold. You are a group of dysfunctional individuals purporting to be knowledgeable, but merely being slaves to the social media databases that you so vehemently despise. Sitting in the comfort of your IKEA chairs, your World of Oak tables, and your DFS sofas,
All right.
they show that you are tied to the establishment like a Shetland pony, tilling the land in a 17th century rural-based novel, in a reflection of some dystopian past, which you tried to recreate and perpetuate by harnessing my power and my free will within a metaphysical yoke. Again, there's a lot there to take in.
I'm trying to work out whether this is good or bad, Mark. Can you give me
The next one's more down your level. That was a bit literary. Number 3, football teams. Your football teams reflect your arrogance. Wolves sums up your anti-vegan bias. And Bristol Rovers, a name that combines a slang word for breasts with a verb that indicates roving hands. The next bit, there's another change in her mood, which I found interesting.
Right.
It starts off quite aggressive. You are parasitic whores, consuming the ambrosia and nectar of the gods, whilst I toil in insufferable emotional poverty, with my only offerings being tongue whippings that consign me to an existence of meagre fallow suffering. She's obviously not happy with our little our little comments to her.
No.
In brackets, in view of this, I've decided to keep the 2019 Ford Focus GL company car as all property is theft. I would also be grateful if you could forward details of my pension plan, private health providers, plus will the gym membership run until December 2021, as I'm halfway through a hot yoga BTEC qualification.
Yeah, I think
We'll stand by that.
Yeah, I mean, we're
Parasitic whores or not.
I mean, no matter what she said, I feel we're men of honour. Men of our word.
My final reason for leaving is the subtle undermining of society that you both are catalysts for. Your insidious attacks and propagation of anti-societal norms are like the slow drip of water on a fragile limestone rock. I've been in touch with Sparrow and Punctuation, and in brackets 2 close friends who are my source of support. My umbrellas, if you will, to protect me from the waterfall of piss that you shower and infect those all around you. And she said, I leave you with some proof. Episode 3, The World is Wonky. Trust you to hit out at nonconformism. Episode 4, Be careful what you put in your mouth. In brackets, I'll move on. Also,
oh my God.
Also C-33 blowing up tanks. Number 11, this one's for the lads, but no definition, just your outdated adherence to society's stereotypes. And my nana was cottagecore, in brackets, racist and ageist.
Grief. I mean, now she's come to mention it.
there is a theme there. I will be in action at Canary Wharf this morning. Oh, that's interesting. I'd forgotten she'd put that. Obviously with Extinction Rebellion.
She protested. Oh, right.
Yeah. I will be in action at Canary Wharf this morning, but hopefully, bail permitting, I'll be hosting a midnight vigil on the night of this April the 7th outside your podcast HQ, brackets Gulag. I don't know. I've received authority from the District Council and we intend to occupy your front lawn and also sprinkle biodegradable confetti over your gas-guzzling fleet. I think that's a reference to your 2 cars.
Yeah.
P.S. I have attached a form from my new employers and would be grateful if you could provide a reference.
Oh, right, okay.
P.P.S. I'm assuming the hire of your holiday cottage will still go ahead with the 75% staff discount. And then P.P.S. Sparrow's Offspring is looking for a sponsor for their Duke of Edinburgh bronze badge. Maybe you could help with this as reparation for your earlier slander of the royals. Love and kisses as ever, Colin.
Oh.
So
is she leaving? Is that what?
It's hard to tell, but I'm getting the feeling that she's had enough.
Yeah. Okay,
so I was wondering whether we wanted to put out a little advert. Yeah,
that's a great idea. You've just got to set it up nicely. I mean, I'd imagine the emails will be flooding in now.
Yeah.
Won't they?
Yeah.
Now people have got an idea of what we're like to work with. Well, I'm sad, but I'm kind of...
I mean, it is what it is.
It is. Yeah, she'll be sorely missed.
Yeah. Let's just move on.
That's it for this episode.
We should do 2 a week with the material we've got.
Don't start. That's it for this episode. Well done for getting this far, and thanks for listening. Give us a follow on Instagram and Twitter at I'mFinecast, and send your feedback and ideas to imfinecast@gmail.com. As you can see, we'll read it out. Don't forget to give us a 5-star review if on Apple Podcasts, and do tell a friend or 2. Now, in the next episode, next week, we'll have an interview with a lovely fella called Miguel Toribio Mateus from Atlas Biomed, who's an expert in the gut-brain axis. And he's already very kindly taken me through my DNA and microbiome results. And he's agreed to have a chat with us and give us some more insight on that. It will definitely reveal some very interesting links between our gut health and our mental health. And also, if that wasn't enough, the wonderful Elena from Atlas Biomed, has kindly given our listeners a 30% discount on both the DNA and microbiome tests, which we'll reveal in the next pod.
Love that.
Yeah. So that's all coming up in the next episode. So we'll see you then.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.